Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is not Kathy Folsom. I'm Andy Reed, and on behalf of the board, I welcome you. It's a pleasure to welcome you to this congregation this morning at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Swannanoa Valley. First, a request, please turn off or mute your cell phones. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism, I encourage you to take note of our mission statement, which is printed on the front of the order of service, and the 8 principles that guide us as Unitarian Universalists, which are printed on the back. It's our practice to welcome those of you who are visitors or first-time attendees, or those who haven't been here for a good long while. So if you are willing, please rise first on the left and introduce yourself if you are new here.
There's nobody else. I'm Sally. I came here all the time in the past, but I've been gone for about 2 years now, and this is my first time back. I just moved back to my house up on 6th Street. Yay!
My name is Jim Campbell, and welcome, welcoming from the Winston-Salem Union.
Anyone else on this side?
Hi, yes, I'm Jack. I'm Jeff Bell's son. I'm just visiting from Savannah, Georgia.
And how about this side? Oh, Heather. Heather, stand up.
Hey, I'm Heather. I live in Asheville, and this is my first time here.
Welcome.
And anyone, yes,
This
Sally?
is my friend Jim, and it's his first time here.
Welcome. And I don't have my hearing aids, so I'm deaf. So it's Let's hold a good conversation a little while once I get the hearing aids in.
Okay, anyone on this side?
I'm Marissa. I've been here a few times, but we live down the mountain, so it's really hard to get up here sometimes. I'm home the 2 little girls that run around crazy. Maybe y'all remember them. And we love it here.
Welcome back. Anyone else on this side here for the first time? All right, well, thank you. We're very happy that you're here. We're glad to welcome you, and we also invite you to stay after the service for a coffee hour, because Unitarian Universalism means coffee drinker. So we ask you to stay after the service, get to know us, and anyone wearing an orange name tag, like mine, is a member of the membership committee and will be out in the lobby and can tell you more about us. If you are interested in receiving our weekly e-newsletter or finding out more about our membership, about our community, we will be glad to talk to you. I am now going to read the land acknowledgement statement, which is printed on the back of our order of service, and you may follow along with me. We acknowledge, with respect, that this land is the sacred ancestral home of the Cherokee and other native peoples who survived and continue to make their home here. We deeply regret the genocide and broken treaties by which their land was stolen and from which we all benefit. We support the Cherokee as they seek redress for these injustices. We also acknowledge that this country was built on the stolen labor and denied ownership of land to enslaved Africans who continue to experience oppression, economic injustice, and generational trauma. We bear a moral and spiritual responsibility to oppose and work to eliminate the ongoing harm of white supremacy and racism. There are no special announcements this week, but announcements, Jane?
Hi, I'm Jane Carroll, and I've worked with our Social Action Committee for many years. And I wanted to let you know that in the portico today, that the Social Action Committee is working with a group called Faith Communities for Immigration Justice. And today's the rollout for a project called Love Thy Neighbor, Defend Immigrant Rights. And so we have signs to sell for $10. A portion of that will go to SEMA, which is a Latinx advocacy organization. And we're hoping that people will live our values and put a sign in your yard so that people know what you stand for. And hopefully you'll be interested in that today. So thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Other announcements about the happenings in our congregation and in the community at large are generally posted in our weekly newsletter, and they are also posted on the bulletin board in the lobby, in the foyer, to the right of the doors to the chapel. If you'd like to sign up for the newsletter, you're able to do that with a little card that you might find in the pew behind you, or in the lobby, we have them there. Now, we will let our service begin.
Good morning, everybody. It's a lovely morning. Our opening words this morning, entering this community of spirit. As we enter this community of the Spirit, may we remember the difficult lesson that each day offers more things than we can do. Therefore, may we learn to separate that which matters most from that which matters least. May we do what needs to be done, postpone what does not, and be at peace with what we can be and what we can do. Please rise as you are able and join in singing our opening hymn this morning, hymn number 26, Holy, Holy, Holy. be seated. Our responsive reading in the back of the gray hymnal is number 536. It's called Morning Poem by Mary Oliver. Let's read this responsively. Every morning the world is created.
Under the orange sticks of the sun, the heat ashes of the night turn to leaves again.
And fasten themselves to the high branches, and the ponds appear like black cloth on which are painted islands of summer lilies.
If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere.
And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it's all you can do to keep on trudging,
There's still somewhere deep within you a beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted.
each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning.
Whether or not you have ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray.
Beautiful. And now we have an even more beautiful treat for you this morning. Can you give them a little more? All right. This is the time in the service when we invite you to come up and share a joy, a concern. Everything's here, the fire, the stones and the water, and the floor is yours. I need to bring stones to anyone? Okay. This stone is for those of you who, for whatever reason, didn't want to come up. Just know that we keep you in our thoughts and prayers and in our hearts and minds. All right. I now invite you to join in the spirit of meditation and prayer. We will have our usual time of quiet afterwards, and we'll go on from there. This is called a time and a place for soul stretching. We gather together this day to be refreshed and renewed. This is a time and a place for soul stretching. We have, over the course of the last week, given thought to our bodies, stretched them in various ways. We have walked and talked. We have exercised and examined. We have watched our diets, well, maybe not all. And we have groomed our bodies. We have committed time and resources to our physical selves. But this is a time and place set aside for the sake of our souls. That mysterious and mystical place that is at our very core. That region of ourselves we neglect at our peril. That source of the uniqueness that we are, that vital center of consciousness and conscience. Here may our minds be stretched by the challenge of new ideas. Here may our feelings be stretched to new heights and depths. Here may our values be stretched in new dimensions. It is time to put aside littleness of spirit, opening ourselves to the best that is within us. Here we take the limits of our vision to far horizons. Here we loosen our cramped spirits to the freedom of growth and our unlimited possibilities for adventure. Here we transcend our pettiness by a new largeness of life. It is good to grow, and this is a time and place for soul stretching. Let us exercise well. And now, while our minds are one for this brief moment, I will leave you with the eloquence of silence. And so it is. We will now receive this morning's offering.
every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Upon the mountain my God spoke, o'er the mountain fire and smoke, all around me looks so shy. Ask my God if all were mine. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. The river Jordan runs right cold, chills the body, not the soul. Ain't but one train on this track, runs to heaven and right back. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray.
Thank you for your generosity. I want to tell you, we had our board retreat yesterday, and I must tell you that it's a very impressive board. And these are people that you democratically elected to serve. These are our church leaders. And, you know, they care for the church. And especially in these times when, you know, it can be kind of dicey to say I'm a liberal. I hold liberal religious values. And so they are serving at a time that's kind of unprecedented at what's going on. So I just want you to know that. Will the board members please raise your hands? Who was there? Will you look around and just thank them today? Just thank them. And when you see them out in the foyer, they really care about this congregation. They're not knocking down the sanctuary to put a ballroom in or anything like that. And I just want you to know that. Well, this is kind of part 2 of last week. So, after last week's sermon, we had 5 people who went to visit Susan to just explore, put their toe in the water about what it might entail to work with the kids. And we had 2 people who are now working on stewardship. So people are stepping up. And so, let us move on. At the Temple of Delphi, where a priestess served as an oracle for one of the gods, people would pause in the court to dwell on the inscription that was written outside the temple, which said, "Know thyself." Meaning, before you can hear the message of the gods, or the god, whatever it is, floats your boat, you have to know yourself. And I think that we need to heed this message in our times as well. One of the first ways, if you remember last week I was talking about how service, anywhere really, but to this church, can be part of your spiritual practice. But one of the first ways that congregational leadership can serve you in your spiritual practice, and one of the tools for transforming it into just a volunteer job, into a fulfilling spiritual practice, is to take advantage of the opportunities of leadership to teach yourself about yourself. To teach yourself about yourself. After all, at least on some level, aren't all spiritual practices pathways to self-discovery? And again, I want to define the spiritual practice as where you draw your line in the sand. The cultivation of your inner life. If the word spiritual is too woo-woo for you, then find some other word. But what do you stand for? What are your principles? Where do you draw your line in the sand? And lay leadership is really no different. You can begin by asking yourself, first of all, how do I understand the word leader? This is a sticking point for many people in congregations today, not just Unitarian Universalists. They may see themselves, an individual, as a committee member or as a person involved with some project or program. They may even be the chair of this committee or that task force, but still not consider themselves a leader. And remember, we talked a little bit last week about when you serve on these committees, that you're not doing it out of your own ego to push forward a pet project maybe you couldn't do at the Asphalt Church, but you do here. Or you do. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you being willing to put your ego aside and to serve. This is a problem when people do this. And it explains why many people, churches call for new leaders and those calls go unanswered. Because some people distrust the term leadership. Because leaders are supposed to be people who tell everybody else what to do. Leaders exercise power over and are relics of a patriarchal system that is no longer appropriate in the 21st century. We prefer collaboration, consensus, right? Those are words that kind of feel better. Leader, I would never want to be one of those. Still, for others, the term leader is held in almost too high esteem. Leaders are people like Dorothy Day or Dr. King or Kamala Harris. Leaders have a vision, and they can inspire a huge number of people to follow them. So a leader, I don't know if I'm one of those. I don't know if I want to be one of those. Think of folks in our congregation. Perhaps you're one of them, who have been in charge of this project or this committee or this program for years, yet who, if they heard themselves described as one of the church leaders, they would very strongly demur. There are many people in the congregation. There are many people in our congregation. We know that what they can do, and so we go to them when things need to be done. And that's beautiful, except when you get on a committee or something, you can't get off because no one else wants to take your place or no one else wants to volunteer. And if you invited these people to a meeting of church leaders, they would politely decline. And yet time and time again, we go to these people. Let us use the analogy, if you will, of geese who are, I see them where I live, they fly like in a squadron in this V formation during their transcontinental flights. The goose out in front is, the leader, not only helping to show the way, but to take on the task of breaking through the headwinds so that it makes it easier for the other geese to follow. Yet the updraft of all of the beating of the wings of the followers make the leader's flight just a tad bit easier. So it's also true that at regular intervals, the leader drops back into a follower's position and another leader comes up front. This is how they do it. Shared leadership, or shared ministry as the UUA likes to call it, is not an oxymoron. And the true place of a leader is neither as prominent or obscure as it's sometimes perceived to be. Another way to look at it is called servant leadership. You've heard this term. The term servant leadership is very well known in many religious circles. The one who leads in service to the wider community, not for his or her own good alone, mind you. Because the term minister itself means one who serves. In the gospel stories, two disciples ask Jesus, they're asking him to be made leaders in the kingdom that is to come. And he says that that's not within my power to do, but the greatest among you must be one who is willing to serve. The term servant leadership may help to free the term leader from the unnecessary baggage that it carries. So if the term leadership still carries too much baggage for you, facilitator, convener, point person, servant. A little too military for that. We don't want anybody to get killed. But This idea is crucial in UU congregations, which because of our church polity of governance, thank God, or whoever's running this, ultimate authority lies in the congregation or the church community. Not me. Not the minister. We have no diocese. We have no pope. We have no bishop. In the end, it is you, the church, not the minister, who directs its course. We got that from the Congregationalists. Leaders are but servants to the wider community. Nor can you see how this understanding, well, I hope you can see now, how this understanding of leadership lends itself to opportunities for developing spiritual virtues such as discernment, patience, courage, and humility. So after looking at how you understand the word leader, you can consider how you would understand yourself as a leader. What kind of leader are you? There are a great many ways to be a leader. Knowing the kind of leader you are, sometimes referred to as leadership style or temperament, can assist in reducing the feelings of frustration that come up when different styles of leadership collide. I'll use myself, for example. When I first started out in ministry, and I still am to an extent, but I've had to look at that. I'm a task-oriented person. There's a deadline. We need to get it done. But as we talked about last week, sometimes it's the experience, and not always you want to get the task done, but it's how you get it done. If you get it done by hurting people's feelings, if you get it done by walking all over people, if you get it done by not letting people get back to you when they say they're going to get back to you, if you get it done by rushing them, we'd rather not have it done at all. Last week, I'd rather have someone with the emotional intelligence and not the skills, because you can learn the skills, than to have the skills and not the emotional intelligence. This also goes to show that congregational leadership is really a spiritual practice, because even before you begin, you're given the opportunity to look deeply at who you are. and how you are dealing with others. Be they committee members, your family, immediate and extended, co-workers, strangers on the streets, your God or non-God. This is about so much more than how to be a good board member. Back in the day, you might have been expected to know your zodiac sign. Hey, what sign are you? And then at one time it was what's your Myers-Briggs type, right? But the point is that it's the same. There are many ways for individuals to classify themselves. Leadership style, organizational temperament, personality type. These are just 3 of the current phrases used to help people discover more about why they're good at things, why they like the things they do, and why they're not good at certain things, and why they're just not good in doing certain tasks. You see these silly things on Facebook. Which Harry Potter character are you? or what Catholic saint are you? Please don't answer that. Now, these tests can look superficial, but they can have merit if they cause you to think of these 3 questions before you take on a task at the church or anywhere. Who are you? That's number 1. Who are you really? Who are you in relation to the task or the tasks that you're doing? And who are you in relation to whom the people with whom you are working? Knowing your type can help you to know how you prefer to approach different kinds of tasks on your church's board, for example, for instance, or even whether you even prefer to serve on a board or be a member of the greeters or the worship team or what have you. It can also help you understand how you relate to others. An illustration. Someone who gets energy from being alone, an introvert maybe, may need to be sure to schedule downtime whenever they're on a committee or if they're at a retreat or because she will need to recharge her batteries. Someone may also need to be patient in meetings with board members who tend to be more focused on facts than feelings. You got these different personality types. How do I deal with them without, conflicting with them? You have to understand. There's some people who may be more touchy-feely. There's some people who may want consensus. Well, other people say, well, we don't have time for that really right now. Just the facts. Getting an idea of who you are and how you operate and who the people you work with are can help in all sorts of ways, from self-care to interpersonal relationships. How do you deal with the person who may be talking, if it feels like you're talking down to me? Okay? Now, if you're conflict adverse, it's going to be a long 2 years on the board or any place. I'm just using that as an example. As you engage your work in the church with your spiritual lens, so to speak, you will notice many opportunities to ask questions of yourself about yourself. Why was that task so attractive to me? Why was that task, why was this other thing so difficult for me? Why does this person always seem to rub me the wrong way? Why do I almost always seem to agree with this person? Taking each of these as a kind of cone or riddle to wrestle with can do much toward revealing yourself to yourself. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and do Myers-Briggs or whatever. I'm just saying some congregations do that yearly when new leadership retreats, when people come, when new members come on board. Are there leadership saints that you admire? Is there a style of leadership that you resonate with? Right? I mean, you can have that. I love Cisco on Star Trek. Love him. I know that's not why I shave my head, but I do love him. You know, I like that military style. I like the structure. I like that he knows how to deal with other species and humans. Love that. You know, love that. Yeah, it's good. Family man. You know, widower. I don't want to be that, but there it is. Is there a particular style that inspires you? King or Gandhi, Angela Merkel, UU saints perhaps. You know, we have our saints. What about Sophia Lyons-Vaz, James Reeb, Ethelred Brown? You know, in Catholicism, they're patron saints who provide an example. They offer role models for you. Maybe you could identify a leadership saint or two. They don't have to be religious or spiritual figures either. Maybe that's even better. They don't have to be well known except to you. Once you've identified them, you research them. You may have more than one. Study their lives. Call upon them in your guidance. Call upon them in your guidance. You may even want to get a photograph, put it in a special place, put it on your phone. It's also important to recognize your personality type, that's not carved into stone. You will change over the years. You will change. I was an INF something or other. Now I'm an INFJ. You know, and that's a mess too, but I'm still trying, you know, that's where I am. It shifts and evolves as you do. Carl Jung believed in the value of personality type theory. And he argued that people move through different types of situations and different stages in their lives. And I only mention this because if you do get interested in personality types, to remember that one type is not better than the other. Each type has its own strength and weakness. So, you know, somehow the grass looks greener. Introverts want to become extroverts. I don't know any who do, but, and vice versa. But you just have to be yourself, right? Everybody's already taken. And remember, the oracle implied that wisdom is to be found in knowing yourself, not wishing you were somebody else. It also helps you to understand why certain things come easily to you and why other things can be a challenge, why you seem naturally drawn to some tasks and situations and tend to stay away from others. And you naturally align with certain people who may see the world as you do. That's natural. And so there's so many tools that can help you on this journey of self-discovery, because that's what lay leadership is. You can do meditation, you can ground yourself out here walking barefoot on the grass, you can go do your 12 steps, you can do therapy, you can do group work. I'm just mentioning this. The power of self-discovery leads to more effective servant leadership, and we need you here at UUCSV. We need you here, and we need that kind of leadership. And that kind of self-discovery that I'm talking about, that kind of authenticity, I like that word, that genuineness, that purposeful living, helping you understand your true self, it can only make us a better organization. And that's what we are. That's what we want to be. We want to know your strengths and your weaknesses. It leads to better decision-making, clearer goals, improved relationships, and increased self-awareness and acceptance. So it's the inward journey. It's the journey without steps. You're going inside. It's a journey of introspection, growth, of evolution, so you too can live a more fulfilling, life-aligned life with your values and purpose. What could be sweeter? I mean, what could be better than that? I would also add to the list, you will have a greater sense of joy and aliveness. The words of Dr. Howard Thurman, don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive, and then go do it. Go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. In this way, we at UUCSB will help the world in creating a friendly world of friendly folk under a friendly sky. May it always be so. Amen. Ashe. God bless you. All righty. Our closing hymn this morning, one of my favorites, number 318. Please rise as you are willing and able. Can we give some love to the choir? Another outstanding choir. I'm only one, but still I'm only one. I can't do everything, but still I cannot refuse to do the something that I can. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.